Hello everybody, welcome to PRM Media Channel. To investigate the situation in the global market and the local markets, we are having interviews with the experts of the industry. And today our guest is Mr. Florian Mikulasch from VDMA. And VDMA is the German Mechanical Engineering Industry Association. So Mr. Florian, welcome to our interview.
Thank you for the opportunity, and it's my pleasure. Yeah. Good afternoon to Taiwan.
And good morning to Germany as well.
Mm.
And as a start, I would like to ask about VDMA, the role of VDMA in plastic and rubber industry.
Yeah, as you just mentioned, we are the Mechanical Engineering Industry Association, but actually we are not representing Germany. We are also representing a lot of parts of Europe. We have a lot of European members, and within our association we have around 3,300 member companies, and with this network we are the largest network organization in Europe in the field of the mechanical engineering industry. Yeah? And that's why we're also an important voice for the mechanical engineering industry, and we are heard by the politicians, by authorities, by everyone. So we represent a lot of companies. Yeah? And within VDMA, we also have we are very diverse. Yeah, we have different subsectors. For example, the paper and printing technology, food processing, packaging machinery. I myself are working for the plastic and rubber machinery, and we have in total almost 40 of those subsectors. Yeah? And our job as an association is, of course, to provide our member companies with strategic information, so they use our advice for future decisions. That is one step. Another step is we bring together all key players of the industry. For example, at trade fairs, we have a platform like last year in Düsseldorf at K-Show. We had a very big pavilion there and have shown best practices in the field of circular economy. So we bring all of the key players together. Yeah? What I just mentioned, we are also quite close to the politicians. So we bring the demand of our member companies directly to the European Commission, for example, to the German Parliament, to the politicians. Yeah? And of course, we are also in contact with other associations. So when it comes to speak as one voice, we contact other associations and yeah, are also in touch with in contact with them. And last but not least, as an association, our main focus is also on standardization. So we are working on standards a lot. That is what we are doing in the field of the plastics and rubber machinery.
Thank you for sharing the role of your company. For the next question, we would like to ask you, how is the current situation in the local market for plastic and rubber industry during the pandemic?
Yeah, well, the market right now is extremely different. We have two parts. The plastics and rubber machinery is very diverse. We have the automotive sector, we have the packaging sector, we have the medical sector, we have some other sectors, electronic industry, for example. When I speak for the automotive industry, this is extremely weak at the moment. We don't see any investments from the customers, from the automotive industry. That is a huge problem at the moment. Yeah? But on the other hand, of course, we also have the medical and packaging sector, and currently they are running very well. Yeah? Everyone during the pandemic, everyone is talking about medical appliances, and everyone uses filter mask, and with our machines you can you can produce such things. So the medical sector is running extremely good, as well as the packaging sector. So people stay at home, they get their food delivered at home, and so we need a lot of packaging, and those two sectors are very good. For example, also the flexible packaging is good. Yeah, it depends on which sector you're looking. Yeah.
Okay. Due to the pandemic, what kind of problems that companies are facing right now in terms of communication, strategic, and customer service?
Yeah, this is a very good question. Actually, let me start with logistics. At the moment here in Germany, we're in a second lockdown. Yeah, we had a first lockdown in March, April, and everything was shut down completely. And nobody, even some companies are not allowed to work. Production was really shut down, and so on. And that's also meant that the supply chain was not working that time at the beginning of the year, and our companies had a lot of problems to get their goods delivered to the company to finish our machines. Yeah? But currently we are in a lockdown light, or lockdown 2.0, you can call it. I always call it lockdown light, yeah, because it is not such a strict lockdown like in the beginning of the year. Restaurants are closed, bars and so on are closed, but everything else is working. You can go to the supermarket and so on. Of course, you have to minimize your social contacts, yeah, but production and so on is running. So currently, we don't have problems in terms of logistics, because also the borders are open. Yeah, there's also a difference between now and the beginning of the year. That time the borders were closed. Now everything is open. Now the production is running. So in terms of logistics, there are no problems. Then you mentioned communications. Yeah, like what we are doing now, video calls is a new standard. So everyone is using video calls, and it is working very good. It's working properly. Our member companies are making deals with their customers via video calls, and actually there are also quite big deals done by video calls. No? But what we can also see, customers more and more lose their patience to do big deals via video calls, and they are missing the face-to-face and the personal interaction. So yeah, I think when we all meet again in person, for example, at trade fairs or somewhere else, everyone will be really happy, because everyone is already tired of those video calls. It's a good invention. You save a lot of time, but yeah, as I said, customers more and more lose their patience. Yeah. And then the last thing is customer service you mentioned. Yeah? This is an extremely important topic at the moment, because our company is suffering a lot from the travel ban. You can imagine our machines are worldwide, spread over the world, and the technicians have to enter those countries to install new machines, to make the service, to make the maintenance of those machines, and yeah, they have to travel to the countries, but currently they cannot, because of the travel ban. And if you get a flight, if you get a visa, you need to be in quarantine for 14 days, which is also a very big problem. When you come back to Germany, you have another 14 days quarantine. So 1 month you are in a hotel room, like actually you can say like in a prison sometimes, yeah. And this is actually a very big problem. What you can do remote, which means you can control the machine via the internet in the virtual world. But this is also working properly, but it's not always working. Sometimes you have to go and travel to the customer. So that's the biggest problem, the customer service.
And dear Florian, I would like to ask, because you gave a good sorry, because you gave us a good insight about the European market and how is the current situation, and you have like 3,000 plus members, and you mentioned before you are close to politicians and you can observe the situation better. So in this case, I would like to ask, what kind of solutions or initiatives are the companies or the government is doing in especially the European market to overcome the problems you just mentioned?
Yeah, in Germany, we have the instrument of the, or in Europe, not only in Germany, in Europe, we have the instrument of the so-called short time working. So people work reduced hours. For example, they only work for 50%, but they stay in the company because they are still needed, and our member companies they want to keep their stuff, of course, because it's in the end it's more expensive to hire new staff. So they keep all of their stuff, and I think it's a very good instrument to work reduced time. And what we also see is that companies cooperate with each other. For example, they are producing face masks or something, and also provided for schools or for kindergarten or for public authorities and so on. So there's a very close cooperation between the companies and during the pandemic, and I think on the political field we also have some good instruments like the short time working. So.
From your perspective, what is the future outlook for plastics and rubber industry?
Well, this year was an extremely difficult year. This year we, despite at the beginning I mentioned we are diverse. We have the automotive sector, we have packaging, medical, but nevertheless for this year we expect a decrease in sales of about minus 15%. Yeah? And next year, this is because we are exporting our goods to the whole world, and our trade partners are also suffering a lot. So when we take a look at Europe and we take a look at other countries, there are not so many investments at the moment. Yeah, we see some investment, we see incoming orders. This is quite positive outlook for specific fields, but we don't see incoming orders on a broad basis. And the second question is the incoming orders we see now, will they really be realized or will they be postponed to somewhere else? So for next year, we also expect once again a difficult year with a lot of challenges, and I guess we are also in the range between -5 and -10% growth next year, because this will be once again a difficult year. And then after this, so in 2022, we expect a growth, so let's say about 5% or something. Yeah. So this year and next year will be challenging.
Yeah.
Thank you you, and let's continue with the VDMA perspective. Because we just mentioned before the problems, and you also mentioned like you cover a huge number of the member companies. So I want to ask, what's the role of VDMA to overcome the issues of the pandemic? Like in terms of the solutions, like for example, do you have any like training programs, or do you have like any support for the companies?
Yeah, we are a very large network of all companies. So our one of our jobs is to bring the companies together and to learn from each other. So we have a very big network. One is doing something very good, and he can share his best practice with other companies. This is a main task. On the other side, we are collecting a lot of information. We have experts in every field. We have experts for foreign trade. We have experts for tax and so on. And this experts can give our companies a lot of advice to come through this pandemic. And yeah, we are also in touch with politics. So in the end, I think it's a good package. And yeah, main task is to advise our member companies.
Dear Florian, thank you for your time and like, for your sharing. And lastly, I would like to ask, do you have any message to our audience, PRM Media Channel's audience, and the like plastic and rubber industry members around the world?
Yeah, I would like to greet everyone and everyone around the world. Yeah, stay optimistic, stay healthy. Of course, keep your fingers crossed that we will have a vaccine very soon. That the pandemic is over in the I hope in the next year, and we can all meet again in person at exhibitions or around the world, and we can travel again. That is my wish and my greetings to all of you.
Thank you so much, and we are really appreciated the insight we gathered from you. And hopefully in the future, I mean in the soon future, we will just pass over this epidemic situation, and hopefully we will meet again, like in Germany or in Taiwan, and like hopefully everything is going to be better.
I have to thank you. My pleasure.